Hi, welcome to the Silas OZOYA show. This is the Ask Silas session of the Silas OZOYA show, and I have someone here with me. Interestingly, we met in Yaba, and here we are meeting in London. So, would you want to introduce yourself, tell us what you do and what you're building?
Yeah, so my name is Victor Onyekere. I'm a venture builder and startup operator, and in the last decade, I have been building and operating early stage startups across frontier markets, and I'm currently leading BuildersCabal. It's a platform that brings together founders, operators, advisors, investors to build and scale high growth tech companies across Africa. And this is quite important because building is a collaborative effort. And when we bring every key player into the room, we can not just build faster, we're going to unlock prosperity faster by the jobs we're going to create by these technology companies. Thank you.
Awesome. So now let's get into it. From Africa, what is the perception? You are leading an ecosystem in Africa. What's the perception of AI, and how would that be plugged into the Africa ecosystem?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I think that we're still somehow dabbling around the fact that would AI take my job? There's still that scary frenzy. But the truth is we need to start shifting from that and start thinking about how can we pivot and position ourselves for AI, and to see how we can leverage AI as a thinking partner, as an operating partner, to do great work across the different companies that we work.
Okay, so looking at this from an operator and startup perspective, right? I'm sure you saw all of the argument around talent, no talent, all of that. Do you think Africa is ready when it comes to talent in this new era of technology? Do you think we are ready?
Well, ready is a journey, right? I can't say yes or no, right? But we're getting there. It's progressive. I'm pro-Africa, but it's progressive and we're getting there. But I think what we need to start thinking about is how can we start investing into developing our own talents, homegrown talents, right? We can't keep looking on the outside. We have to solve our talent deficit internally, which is start investing in the quality of thinking of every potential talent.
Across Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, and a lot of African countries, even Kenya, how do you think we can embed that into our own stack as startup founders or ecosystem operators? How do you think we can incorporate that into it?
Yeah, is it talent development?
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I always use the principle of learning on the wheels, which means you have to start incorporating learning into every activity within the company. So right now with my team, at the end of the week, we always run a check, which is, this is what you're supposed to do this week based on your OKRs. There's always something that I have to report on, which is learnings, key learnings. What have I learned based on my task for this week? And when we have a performance chart about that, because we do weekly performance charts, when we have that chart about that, I'm asking them, so what have you learned this week? Oh, okay, I learned something by doing this. I learned something new. I discovered one trick, and I could do this faster. And we're also driving cross-functional learning with that, which is I learned something from marketing. I learned something from sales just by hopping into the meeting or doing that task. So everybody on the team knows that at the end of the week, you're going to report on your key learnings, and that spurs them to learn. And then at the end of the month, we rotate like a learning club where each person comes to come and teach or talk about what they've learned over the course of that 1 month. So that way we're driving peer-to-peer learning, and that doesn't replace, pulling everybody out to come and train. But I'm saying that I've seen a massive shift in that eager to learn, and people are making learning a bit more, active than passive. Okay,
so here's the thing. So we're both building an African-focused platform, community, and all of that. So what are the things that, the perception you came to London Tech Week with, and what are the things you are living with that, can build a bridge between what we're learning here back home in Africa?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that thing about, this is an event, I'm just going to come around, meet people, take pictures and things like that. But coming here has created that mindset shift. I put on the Slack team that we're gonna have a major shift in our business operations. And what I've left with is pivoting and positioning, which is we have to start making that shift as to how we can start leveraging AI and not be reactive to it. We're going to be more proactive with it and start engaging and start building more relationship with it to understand it better, and how we can use that to do more great work. And I think, you know, for the African tech ecosystem, left here with useful connections, funding different markets, and also created that link between different markets, you know, how they can also get into Africa as well. So access to market is quite important.
Right.
And I think that pivot, positioning, and then creating that, you know, access to market, chatting with different people from different, you know, parts of the world. Yeah, it's quite
awesome.
Good.
So if we have one last thing to tell those that are viewing right now, what would that one thing be that you say, if you are watching this is the thing you should take away? If you're watching from Africa, anywhere in the world, and you're building for Africa, what would that one thing be?
I would say my one thing is start thinking about how you can position yourself for the shift that's already happening. It's so interesting to be in this AI, you know, era. So instead of complaining and saying AI is going to take my job, start asking yourself, how can I, you know, be more proactive? How can I build better relationship with AI so that I can do better work? And by that, we can obviously build more high growth companies and we can unlock prosperity in Africa.
Thank you so much, Victor, for coming on this show and for talking to our listeners and talking to all, obviously, viewers. This is going to be on YouTube and on Spotify, and I really hope that people do take learnings from this. If you have questions for Victor, if you have questions for me, do not forget to leave it in the comments. Obviously, this is Ask Silas session on the Ask Silas show. Thank you very much.